What's going on, speculators? Let's fire up the Futures Fanatics stream for our Tuesday afternoon, the Power Hour. It is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. First people in here, if you could just give me a 1 for picture and sound, that would be great. Just want to remind everybody that this broadcast is for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of me, mine and mine own, me and mine only. And all trades presented should be considered hypothetical and should not be expected to be replicated in a live trading account. Please make sure that you spend a little time taking a look at that. Thank you, Jerry. All right, let's move this out of the way. Great two-way day, folks. So yesterday was sort of a up and away, filling in all the moves from Friday to the downside. Today we're actually getting really nice two-way action. Price is respecting some nice levels here on the MES. You can see it's on the MES. Hold on a second here. On the MES right here at, let me move this over a little bit, 63.26 is working out really well. And I'm in a position over here on the NASDAQ, which is in the bid zone and has touched and gotten close to the -2s a few times, but really has worked really well out of the zones a little bit here. A few hours ago this morning, nice touchdown here. Give me one in the chat if you are trading the MNQ, and you should only be trading the MNQ if you're already profitable, if you're passing accounts, if you're getting payouts. If not, you got to stay in Dow land, folks. You got to stay in Dow land. Dow has been really nice today. Stay down there in Dow land. Okay? You got to earn the right to deal with this vixen that is the NASDAQ. All right. I'm going to try something, and then over here on Tickblaze, I'm just in a few positions. I'm long the MES with some orders down there at the 23s and 25s, which are right there on the bid zone. Remember, we got a pretty flat, really flat bands now. We got some range expansion, so we can go ahead and get trading. If you're in the trade room this morning, then you saw that the Dow had a nice little reversal and then moved a little lower, found some support. S&P, same thing. So most of the markets have been kind of correlated today, but it's been nice to see us on either side of green. And then the only thing that's really up today and has been up the whole session is the Russell with a little bit of rotation going on there. So I wanted to try something today, just like a little shameless plug, to see if there's any people that are in here that are watching the stream that have not yet taken action and either done a trial or taken the leap and decided to become part of our community and check out TDG as part of our trade room, the ProTrading Room PTR, which I do in the mornings from about 8:15 to 10 Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. So I had recently done a talk with the folks over at Tickblaze, the platform right here. If you've been watching my stream for a while, you know that I now give this away for free. You can just look for a link down below. Just all you got to do is it's the honor system. Just get anything from PropShop. If you use my code, that's great. If not, I don't really care. And then you can do a one-click install and get this whole desktop for Tickblaze if you want. Now, those that also watch my stream know that I trade over here on TradingView as well, okay? And also, of course, trade on NinjaTrader, which is what you see down here. There are plenty of people in our group that also set up the strategies or their charts similar to what we've got going on here, and they do that on Addis, they do it on Sierra Chart, they do it on Quant Tower. So really, you're not limited in terms of the platforms that you can use. Everything that I teach is really just about establishing and protecting a daily risk budget. As you know, I'm going to say it every single day. The strategies are really secondary to that. But let me tell you what I'm getting at here, which is that I ran a promotion when I did that thing with Tickblaze that more people bought than anything I've ever done. So it seems to be a sweet spot in terms of value for for money and all these things. And let me just tell you what it is, and then I'll tell you how you can get involved today and a little bit of motivation to do that if you want to. So I'm going into full-on sales mode. If you're already a customer and product collaborator with TDG and a member, then you can tune out for just a moment. But the room is normally $149 a month, $9.99 a year, $249, $24.99 for lifetime. We're doing this special, and I'm going to leave it open for today for this broadcast to just see if anyone takes action on this, where it'll be $249 for 3 months and then $99 thereafter. So it's $249 for 3 whole months, $99 thereafter. That's for the Pro Trade Room, and that's the focus of this whole thing. You're not going to learn anything from a YouTube video or from watching a course or from anything like that. By the way, NASDAQ's starting to take a little move here. I'll put my target up here at 23,169 half, right there at the minus ones. All right, now to get some people off the schneid, okay, what I'm going to do is, since for some reason, oh, by the way, also set up the same thing more or less over here on Project X. So I got Project X accounts from a variety of places. Here's the Top Step with 5 connected accounts here. Again, I haven't been trading this very much. I've been between 100 and 500 in profit, but I'm going to stick to this at one point. Maybe I'll just trade this for an entire week. We'll just trade the Express funded accounts over there at Top Step. But here's what I'm going to do. So in the link down below, and I'll put it in here as well, I know some of you haven't ever been in our trade room, and maybe you're just joining the stream for the first time. And I understand that even $249 for some people is a lot of money. But for the people that buy it, the first 3 people that get it, since I can do this because when I gave away or tried to give away the $50,000 Gladiator direct to funded accounts from a couple past videos, people don't follow up and they don't check the channel again. You can't really DM anybody on YouTube, so you have to go back and check the channel. So you might want to go back and check those videos and see if you actually won, because I only heard from 2 people. That means I have 3 of these Gladiator accounts left. So for the first 3 people that buy this offer right here, and I've never done anything like this in real time here. Okay, I'll have your information and your email, so that I can give you one of these Gladiator accounts. That's $150 to $200 real-time value. Now, everyone, the 75 people that already bought that might be watching this, I'm also going to enter all of you guys in a raffle, and I'm going to give away 10 Warrior accounts. Those are the evaluation ones, and I'm going to give away 3 of the. So you didn't miss out just because you already bought. But if you want to be guaranteed to get something that's worth more than you're paying for today, now this is risky for me because there's a lot of people who will buy something, get the code, cancel, do all this stuff. If you're an asshole, please don't do this. But if you've been following this for a little while and you want to join the best futures trading, day trading community where you get the support you need, one-to-many mentoring with me in the room every single day, trading the same way and same stuff that you would be doing with just slightly bigger risk budgets. I'm not slinging around minis. I'm not trading the treasury markets in front of you guys. I'm not trading options anymore in the trade room. It just didn't make sense. 100% of the focus is on passing these programs, okay? So there you go. That's all it is, and then we'll just watch the markets today, all right? Now, the other thing that you get when you join the group with this deal is you're going to get the extreme turn for all 3 platforms. This is that indicator right here. So am I cherry picking something? Well, no. This bar right here indicates a potential turning point in the market. Did the market seem to turn there? Yeah. I mean, it gave you a little bit of scare the kids here, right? Down to about 23,123. Built a really nice profile. This is what we would call a standing camel, right? I learned when I was recently in Morocco that if it's a one-humped camel, they don't even call it a camel. They call it a dromedary. So this is a true camel, not a dromedary. All right. So this indicator alone, we used to sell for $1,000 plus all the training. You're going to get it for Tickblaze. You're going to get it for NinjaTrader. You're going to get it for TradingView forever, even if you decide to not continue on in the group. All right. So I'll just check the email from time to time, and I'll shut up there. Maybe we fill these slots up with the first 40 or so people that are watching this right now. If not, I'll just post it until someone clicks on the link, joins our group. And again, if you're a new recent member, I'm going to enter at the end of the week everybody who already purchased, and will have a chance to win as well. But you have the opportunity to guarantee yourself a direct funded account from PropShop. Now, getting into PropShop real quick, I'll be sending out some emails to my group. If you want to always find out about everything that's going on with TDG, please do take us up on some other things, such as grab the Prop Done Right ebook. Then you'll be notified of some of the other things that are going on, including, there are plenty of other people out there that are promoting and talking about various prop programs. I try to always add value. So if you get any of the new PropShop evals for this week only, I'm sure you might have seen this already, but they've done a model that's very similar to My Funded Futures, to take profit, because a lot of you have shown that you really like this. Now, I don't quite get it, because I rather buy a very, very cheap evaluation and activate it when I'm ready, rather than pay the activation fee in the cost of the evaluation. But look, if you have the skill set to move through these programs and pass them in about a month, which I can help you with. I can't tell you can do it right away with the right risk budget and only trading the Dow. But I can tell you, you should not need more than 2 months. So what you can do is you can buy these for 40% off right now at PropShop, and there's no activation fee. So essentially the activation fee is bundled, right? So many of you like that. You like it from Tradeify, you like it from My Funded Futures, so now PropShop is doing the same thing. But just keep in mind that the subscription renews at the same price. So after a month, you're paying more, right? So just understand where you fit in the spectrum. If you're not ready for that, you can buy 80% off all the time over there at Apex, and then activate it when you activate it. All right. Not a lot to talk about in terms of the markets today. Like I said, we just we're banging around here in the bid zone on the NASDAQ. Ideally, the best fills would be here at -2s, 23.83s, and then I'm resting some orders down below, as you can see as well. But we might be out of this pretty soon. We'll see. This is the one account that's barely profitable today, but should be soon. These are all PAs. And I also brought in some Tradeify accounts that are slightly underwater. To some people had said, hey, do you ever battle back or ever get these? Of course I do. Not very often. They're not going to be much under the starting stack, but these are some that are under starting stack now. So I just wanted to show you this, because you're rarely going to see anything that's less than the starting position. All right, we'll just see if we can get out of this on this little pop. All right, a couple people just bought. Let me see. Does it only be for the first 3? All right, I see 1. I see 2. All right, we got one more slot left. And then remember, if you purchased last night, I'm not going to leave you out. You'll still have a chance to get entered and win something. I'm working right now to try to get
order filled
some of those 90% offers again with a reduced fee as well. So I'll do everything I can with that. All right, let me see. So we got one more slot. As soon as it's done, then we'll be done talking about that, and we can just join in the group tomorrow. And if you're just joining, essentially what I'm mentioning is that I ran a promotion for my trade room, which is the only thing I offer. I don't sell indicators. I don't sell courses. I don't sell signals. I don't sell a paid Discord. You get access to all those things, not signals. Monkey see, monkey do is not going to get you anywhere. Bots are not going to get you anywhere. Most research or what we're watching kind of things is not going to get you very far. You have to come in, put in the effort, develop your own situational fluency, walk forward, test being in the market. It's the only thing that works. So we do that together Monday through Friday, and that's the offer there. Can you join if you're already lifetime? I've been trying to figure out more ways to get some money off you freeloaders. I have like 350 lifetime members, many that got some nice discounts that I'll never make a dime from again. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. All I need is enough income from it to make sure I could pay for the software for the trade room and things like that. Yeah, you get that. Yeah, and then the other thing I was mentioning is there's a promo going on right now for a week at PropShop. You can use code TDG, and you can look for the link down below. You can get 50,000, I think, for like $80 all in, something like that. I might be slightly off. Maybe it's $90, but that's all in, and that's only available using the code TDG. The sale, what I have to offer, and I should have mentioned this, I haven't mentioned this, is better than what would be on their website. So you got to use code TDG, and you can get a better discount, and you can get a evaluation with no activation fee. And then you can start doing the wire-to-wire challenge. I'm still doing the wire-to-wire challenge. I got all those accounts up at about 102,000, so I got 4,000 more to go, the first 5 I ever bought. All right, what's a position size formula you give traders who can make outsized returns beyond 4-figure DRBs and trade? So I don't really get into that. So position sizing formula is really a determination on when you talk about outsized returns, the first piece of math is if you have a DRB that is Anyway, the reason, let me read the whole question. What's a position size formula you give for traders who can make outsized returns beyond 4-figure DRBs, which is not really realistic? 4-figure DRBs are just not realistic in these prop programs until you really grow the accounts significantly. We have people taking $10,000 to $15,000 a month in payouts from 5 to 10 accounts at a few firms consistently. We now have like 20 people doing that, verified. 4 or 5 of them have been kind enough to come out from the shadows and mention how they're doing that because, frankly, they're concerned that those firms are going to take all those accounts away and make them go live. So they're not all that keen. Look, you can fly. I can personally attest to this fact that you can fly beneath the radar at Apex for a long time, and I don't know why more people didn't do it. And you're not flying below the radar if you're going max accounts and blowing them up and doing 100 evaluations in a month, and that's not flying below the radar. But back to the question, it's not really applicable to anything we do, so I don't have a sizing sheet for anything like that. I would say once you have $30,000 to $50,000 of real capital, in addition to what you're doing in the prop programs, you should consider learning how to trade options on futures and focus in the treasuries markets. That'll put you in a completely different space than anybody that's doing things out there. And if you've been following what's going on with the treasuries right now, they finally woke up a little bit. We had a little bit of volatility, so we were getting paid some premium into the FOMC meeting last week. Now it's died down again a little bit. So can't provide a formula for anything like that. Also, I'm just niching down. I'm niching down to the vast majority of the marketplace that's not having success, that's not keeping their emotional capital under control, that is just stuck in a virtual hamster wheel of non-progress. That's the market, and those are the people I want to talk to. So you don't have to do anything with any kind of progressive adding a contract or anything like that. You just have to see, okay, keep all your stats over 20 to 22 trading sessions. How many times did I hit my DRB? Should not be more than 3 to 4. Hit or exceed. Now, for a while you're getting your sea legs, or you're not listening to what I'm saying, or you're trading the MNQ, or you haven't grasped the concepts of understanding the volatility regime because you're not putting in the work, I'm not gaslighting you. I'm just telling you that almost every single time when I really do a deep dive with someone and take the time to do that, they're really not doing things even close to how I describe them. As an example, today, the ranges were pretty narrow to start the morning. We knew that going in. We weren't even at 30% ATR, and yet I bet you at least 60 to 70% of people still put on some trades, which is fine. Many people were green. But if I can give you a framework of when not to trade, which would have been for a good part of the morning this morning, you have to understand how to make those how to adapt there, so that when the Dow started to decline, even if you were in at prior sessions POC or -2s or in the bid zone, you had the risk budget left or the ability to hold through a little bit of a downturn, so you could at least break even but not get anywhere close to your DRB, and then you saw the Dow reverse, right? If we want to go over to the Dow here, let's just go back in time a little bit, right? Okay. Butthole pucker time, right? The low was 44,040. Couple ways this could be done, right? You can avoid the whole thing because there wasn't enough range yet. You can fight it a little bit and do graceful exits on every single pop and keep your losses minimized. Or you can do what I've said very often, which is it's outside the bands, it's a narrow range, you're not doing anything. Once it gets back inside the bands, now did it get back inside the bands here? Yes, it did technically. But this is really the first time where we meaningfully got back inside the bands without getting back up. And once that was a low for the session. You never went lower. In fact, we went from line to line. And then now, as soon as just this, let's look left here, right? This is trading the hard right edge, right? So we're trading the hard right edge. Okay. You're just sitting here watching. Wow, can we even get below the swing level? No, we can't. And now, right here. Wow, this is starting to really flatten out. Okay. Now, if I put an order right here, this is going to be a very manageable trade. Now, here's the downside of this. You avoided all the loss, but you're not going to get any gain because it's not going to come back down there today. Okay? The Dow's not coming back down there. So, loss avoidance, a penny saved is a penny earned in the most positive. You cannot be scared money and have so many factors that you have to consider before you push the button and get involved in the market. That's not going to do you any good. But 3 things have happened with the Dow Jones over the last couple days. Yesterday, it was a very easy trade. It lagged everything else, but it was a pretty easy trade. Even on the short side, which I quote unquote fought the whole session, I made $9. It got nowhere close. The whole goal here, what I'm trying to get at, is put yourself in a position in which you are not losing a lot of money. Do that, and the gains will happen. All right. So for your state about, I'm referring to trading beyond the prop programs. Yeah, so I don't have, the same thing would apply. So I'm not sure I understand. There's not a different risk sizing or anything. Just take the exact same thing and apply it. If you had one account, I don't know, pick an example. Pick an example like me. I have a tracking account at Interactive Brokers with $7,500 in it that I use to only trade the exact same thing that we have going on here. So it's micros only. It just mirrors what we got going on here. I have an account with about 160,000 and I have an account with 400,000 in it. And I trade futures in all of those. In the $160,000 account, I have a max daily loss limit of $9,000. You can do the math on what that is on a percentage basis, right? I almost never get close to hitting that, but I'm not the right guy to ask because I don't trade any stock indices in there very often at all. I just trade the 2-year treasury. So, but all I'm doing is sizing according to what the amount of risk I can take in a $9,000 daily risk budget for an instrument that most of you don't trade and won't know the tick increments or anything like that. Because as I've said before, I've only been doing this for 30 plus years. To this day, I do not like to see large swings in my P&L by being long 4 or 6 NASDAQ. If I want to get involved in the NASDAQ down here, if we got back down to 23,000, I would just sell puts. I'd just sell 5 or 10 NQ puts. Because I'd rather get paid $6,000 or $8,000 for putting on that position that gives me this huge buffer in case I'm wrong. And by the way, I don't teach on it here, but once you understand the power of options on futures, as you get larger, you won't trade underlying futures that much anymore. I mean, you can watch the Lambo guys and all these other guys and, you know, Coach Dakota or whatever, these kids, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Or they don't know what they're missing out on, I should put it that way. Anyhow, got on a little bit of a rant there. I trade the whole curve, but I prefer the 2-year because it's more closely aligned with macro stuff that I do with some of my other friends, and there's a lot more data and information we can look at. Besides, I don't want to be a purely technical trader when I'm trading big size. So the 2-year is most closely aligned with the dot plot and interest rate policies, and it's more reactive to those kinds of things, and it's got really great volume. So, no, options on futures, I mean options on futures. I mean, everyone understands this NASDAQ right here, right? And if it were to go down to 2,300 down here, see how I have this book peppered right here? That's how I quote unquote trade in the real world. So if we were to go down to 2,300, today's Tuesday, let's say the market just tanked, and I'm just totally guessing. I don't have my options chart up right now because I'm freaking out because my 2 left monitors now, I have 2 things that are happening with this frickin' NVIDIA graphics card that's not properly powering these HDMI ports for some reason. Anyhow, so I don't have it open, but I'm just going to make a guess. I would say that if we got down to 2,300, the Fridays would be at 150 or more. Depends on how fast it went down. So you get $3,000 per contract if you sold them. I need more people to understand micro options because the volume is terrible. 1 million contracts traded every day in the MNQ and almost 0 volume in the MNQ options. All right, let's see. Did someone else, do we fill all of our slots yet? So we're done. Thank you very much. So we're done. So we have 3 new members. Welcome. You'll be getting some emails and information. Look, if you've never done a trial before and you just did that to try to get the giveaway. You're going to get the giveaway, but be a little patient. We'll get you out the information. Come into the room. Go through all the material. In other words, don't bash on my support people. I got 2 support guys, and support is not their first business. Trading oil options. You know what? Trading MCL options is actually fantastic because it's the same thing, just $1 a tick, not $10 a tick. It's $1 a tick. There's decent liquidity in them. All right, we're heading a little lower here. We are just farting dust now, but at least we got a little action movement beforehand. Nothing fancy about this level right here, folks. It's just an area that we reversed from, so I'll take the first tests on reversals. So there's nothing fancy about this level here. None of these swings are meaningful. I'm using a 16 by 4 over here, and on
order filled. Order filled. Position open. Order pending.
This is a better, let me move this up here. This is a better chart to look at. It's the one that I trade during the trade room, so because it has the profile here too. So you can see POC is way up here. So the POC is 23,342s. Are we going up or down? I have no idea. That's the beauty of what we're doing here. I know that for some reason there were some buyers at 23,117 a little while ago, and -2s of 2380s is always a level. You can always trade -2s. It would seem like there's some sellers in the market today. They've managed to keep the lid on all the little pops, and then we were weak this morning. So I don't know, maybe a slight edge to the downside. If you actually just did join the group, just be patient. You'll get some welcome emails. It'll point you towards everything that you need to get signed up for the indicators on any of the platforms you want. After the stream today, I'm also going to record some training videos on Tickblaze, because God knows the 150 that they have over there on their YouTube channel doesn't seem to be getting it done. So I'll do my version of them. All right, actually in a trade up here, so little scalp, we'll see what happens.
Order pending.
This is Tickblaze. One-click install on Tickblaze. The Renkos are included. You don't have to install any separate piece of software. And one of the things that I show is the so here's a 5-minute on the S&P, where I'm long as well.
Order modified.
And you can see that
Order modified.
you don't get to see the swings, right? I really like to see these swings. This is here. Let me go to the same thing. What account is this? 12. All right. So let's go to the same account over here. 12. There we go. So I don't know, pick whichever one you like. Here it is on a 5-minute. Here it is on a... Wicks are not really that informative, and people love to talk about wicks. The only kind of wicks I really care about is when it's a doji, when there's no body at all on a 30-minute or 60-minute candle. That I like. And I don't like it because it's predictive of the thing in the future, and I don't like it because everyone says, well, it's an indecision candle and the market's in balance. That may or may not be true. I think every candle is an indecision candle because it's all random. It's just basically algos banging into each other all day long now. And we just do our best to surf where we can. But the reason I like a doji with those wicks on both sides is because it means that most likely I had some two-way price action. And if things went well, I might have caught the top and the bottom, or caught a piece of the whole middle before the body just disappeared there in the middle of the doji. I'm pretty sure doji is the only candlestick pattern I even know what it really is. I'm not sure I could tell you what a hammer was, or a shooting star, or a double engulfing. Any suggestions? Tickblaze Renko settings. They're the same as the settings. They're the same as the settings here. If you're just talking about the way they look on the stream, you could change the background or change the. So like that's Tickblaze, and here's Ninja. I'm not sure either one is particularly clearer. You know, you have to widen these out a little bit. I did my best to make the settings the same. The colors are different over here. Over here, I'm just using solid red and green on Tickblaze. You could change it to more like a pink, or you could go blue and white, or whatever you want. But the Brickwick settings are the same. So I've switched to like a 16.4 for the NASDAQ. It just smooths it out a little bit, a little less movement than 11.2. We got 5 minutes left. I'll come back over here to, well, no, let's stay here because I might get in a trade here. And remember, if $12.50 on the screen or $25, if that bores you, good. That's what it's supposed to do. That's the only sizing you can take for these small accounts. And then copy those trades across 5 to 10 accounts when you're ready. This is the only way to play the game. Dow Jones, right in the middle of the muck. That's what my Dow will look like if we get a fill. I kind of like the fact that the way Tickblaze works is, it gives you a P&L for a closed position for the instrument, not for the whole day. So that's I think it's kind of cool, actually. So I know that in this account, in account whatever, well, I'm not flat right now, but if we went over to this, in this account in the MYM, I lost $55 today. All right. Is Apex giving order flow VWAP license, or better to purchase full Ninja license instead? I've not kept up with the order flow VWAP situation over on Ninja. I've owned licenses forever, and most of the people in our community end up buying a license eventually. But I do know there's ways through Tradeovate now or through Ninja Brokerage where you can get a very low cost monthly kind of lease. So the question is, over here on Tickblaze, it's all included. You don't need to do any. Just install my desktop, and you'll have the volatility bands. You'll have the brick wicks. You'll have this. If you become a member of my community, I'll give you the extreme turn for Tickblaze as well. So you can set up your charts to look pretty good pretty quickly. But on NinjaTrader, you do need the order flow suite. So I don't know the latest on that. Maybe someone can help out. How do I get the indicators you're using? Buy anything from Tickblaze and then look at the description down below, and you can get this desktop for free. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to come in and do a trial, a TDG trial. By the way, you can still sign up for the $249. You're not guaranteed one of the Warrior accounts, but you'll be put into the drawing. So the only thing that's not available in the trade room is members Discord and the extreme turn. Other than that, everything else is included. You can get the workspace for TradingView. You can get it for Tickblaze. You can get it for NinjaTrader. You just install it. I give it all away for free. So if you want these indicators, just come in and do a 2-week trial. If you dig what we're doing here, maybe you stick around. If not, we part friends. All right. Can I please suggest how to fight greed? When I'm up 200, I want to make 400. When I'm 400, I want to make 600. This is not my cup of tea, man. I know that it's real, and I get it. But
Order modified.
I guess my answer would always be, when you're in that particular state, start with 3 things. As long as you never hit your DRB, I don't care what you do when you're up. I really don't. You know, go for it. But when you're up, I would suggest that you can't be taking any more trades or doing anything other than what your strategy is. You don't get to fiddle in the middle and do dumb stuff and buy levels that don't exist. Or here's a good way to do it, Wall Street. Just come over and learn the range trader, this one right here, and you just won't have that many signals. So if you just trade the range trader, you're not going to have that many signals. Then you'll know 100% of the time if you're, trade chasing, because you're just entering at areas that make no sense for the strategy that you're trading. I don't know if anybody else wants to provide some advice on that. I know there's tons and tons and tons of people out there that claim that that's where you need to start, and your lack of success is between your head and all that. It's just you just don't have the skills. But I did write an article, so why don't we go over this? This is my long-winded way of answering the question about how to deal with greed. Come over to my blog, and thanks to ChatGPT, I can cover more of this, and we call it The Power of Quitting. So what you want to do is read this. I'll go through it really briefly here. So there's The Power of Quitting. So you got to stop hitting your DRB. Once you do that, then you earn the right to continue trading on if you're already profitable. You got to stick to your usual trading hours. If you're getting greedy because you're trading beyond your regular trading hours, then just what you have to do is implement discipline in some aspect of it. Just pick wherever you want to implement the discipline, and then if you just do that, then all this other greed stuff goes away, because how many frameworks or quote unquote rules, I hate that term, can you get away with at one time? You got to take an honest look at how you made your profit. You can raise your entry criteria and lower your position size. You can use a secondary DRB as your quit point. You can track the flow state using the VWAP bands. You can keep a journal to make sure you're aware of your quitting decisions. Okay, so this whole article might help out with some of that, or it might not. All right, back out to over here. There's our
order filled. Position closed. Order modified.
All right, the only position I'm still in is right here. On the MNQ. Sorry, one thing here on the MNQ. All right, so let's watch it over here. Oh, and I have one MES. So one MES and one MNQ over here. Doesn't look right. What is going on? Oh, wrong account. There we go. Okay. Let me just get rid of one of these.
Filled.
God, you got a million things going on. It's difficult. All right. The -2s are down here.
Order modified.
See if we get a little flush. Looks like it's going to be a non-eventful close, but anything can happen. All questions that have to do with the indicators, the strategy, what is range trader, what is stay in your lane, what am I looking at? Great thing about YouTube is it gives you that description thing down below. So please look at the description down below. And there are tons and tons of useful links. You can get the free ebook. Grab the ebook right over there. It'll point you to everything that you need to understand what we're doing here, including about a 3-hour workshop that's free on YouTube that will provide you with everything you need to know about what we're talking about. The strategies, the indicators, the ways to overlay volume and volatility. Too many people want to come in and... So Sean Kozak at Tickblaze the other day said something great while we were talking. He said, hey, if it had been 10 years ago and I had gotten, he was speaking about himself, he said, if I got into a presentation on trading and I didn't immediately hear where's the entry, where's the stop, where's the target, what's the theory and logic, have you back tested it, what's the performance of it, how many trades do you take? He said, if I didn't hear all that stuff, I'd just click off. That's what novices do. They focus in the charts too much. Okay? My message is this. Your only job as a trader is to learn how to stop losing money. You don't learn how to stop losing money by understanding how to perfectly execute any particular strategy. You also don't learn how to stop losing money by taking some course on trading psychology and understanding, you know, a strategy that's appropriate for your personality type or whatever bullshit that means. Which strategy is appropriate for my personality type? That's like when a woman wants, or a woman or a man, let's not be sexist here, wants to know your exact time of birth and everything so they can do your astrological chart. Run right away. You got to develop a skill set. The skills are going to allow you to, yes, look at markets in a different way, and yes, get better at around the edges, but let me pull up my performance from yesterday. Do it over here, because it was the second losing day in the last 11, which is a little unusual. Okay, there it is. All these are within the DRB. There was no mean reversion opportunities yesterday very much. So Can I switch on the fly and trend trade a little bit off strong markets once they've broken certain levels, even though we were in a bear continuation pattern for all the trades yesterday, and we're still in a bear continuation pattern? Gang, we're still in a bear continuation pattern. What does that mean? That means that price is trading below the T-line. We were just above, we were neutral. We're below the T-line on a 30-minute. This is a bearish. But yesterday, all we were doing is launching, right? So anyway, this is all you have to learn how to do, is hit the close button and keep your losses around there. And if you tune into my stream every day for a while, I'll bring this up every single day, the performance from yesterday. Here's today. It's not as green as yesterday was red, but that's fine. It's really all that the market presented for itself today. And plus today I had to do Pilates and stretching, you know, so I can't be in front of the screen the whole session. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4, not this one, but these 4, I took $2,750 out of them last week. So the balances are down to like 153-ish. Guess what? I get them right back up to 100 at Apex. I'll take another $2,750 out of them. I don't care what the rules are in terms of amount that you can eat into your buffer or anything like that. I could get them up to $15,000 balances in enough time. But why not just cash flow, right? Why is this thing not doing this? I don't know what's going on here. Having some issues with this chart. Okay, we'll come back over here to, there's one position on over here. And if it gets below this swing level here, I'll just stop out of it.
Order pending. Order pending. Order filled.
Heading a little lower in the MES as well. Watching on the 5-minute.
Order canceled.
This late in the day, that's enough contracts on.
Order filled. Position open. Order filled. Position closed.
Great comment. The way to stop losing money was to trade smaller size. That's it. Well, or to start by understanding how programs really work, or your account size, or your buying power. I mean, the fact that we even have to be at 10% of an account value is because of how screwed up the programs are to begin with. They're just tiny, small accounts, right? There's a lot of people out there risking $250, $300 per trade in a $50,000 prop account. What a joke. Well, I'm risking 2 to 3% a trade. No, you're not. You're risking 10% of your account value per trade. All right, there's 1 o'clock. I would normally just get out
Order
of,
filled.
Close these.
Order filled.
I tend to get
Position
flat right at the close.
Order
If
canceled.
there's some news after the bell, I'll wait a little bit. So I just have one position on left over here.
Order canceled.
All right, I think that will be it for today. That was fun. It was cool to do that little promo thing. So I have your emails. I'll follow up with everybody. If you ended up purchasing afterwards, then thank you very much. We'll get you hooked up. Let me see if there's any other questions. How can I learn your strategy? We trade MNQ occasionally, never NQ, but we trade MNQ, and we trade. So here's all the instruments that we trade. We trade the MES. Let me go up to this chart up here. Yeah, I'm on the right chart. Okay, we trade the MES. Trade the MYM. Trade the MNQ. The M2K. Not often. Friends don't let friends trade the Russell. Crude oil, which was on its ass today in a bear continuation pattern, outside day down. Gold, which was in a bull continuation pattern. This is a screaming buy right here on gold. Right in here in this range. We would call this our bid zone. It's a upward sloping T-line, bullish continuation. Right there, be a buyer of gold in that zone right there. I also want to point out, I mean, can we cherry pick a little bit? But for those of you who join our group, whether you join today or join eventually, this indicator, I don't sell it. I just give it away to members. Pretty powerful. See how it found a bottom here in gold? See how it found a top here in gold? Not always, but it's a good spot to find some turning points. All right, I'm going to get out of this here by virtue of just running a sell stop.
Order pending.
I dig these things that track the, the entry and exit.
Order modified.
Oh, we got AMD earnings
Order
today. Okay,
filled.
thanks. That might be
Position
interesting.
Closed.
Okay, stopped out there. Cancel this.
Order canceled.
We go to our orders. Cancel all orders.
Order canceled.
So I stream here Tuesday through Thursday from noon to 1. That's on the left coast. So that's the last hour of the New York session. And then the trade room is Monday through Friday. The trade room is Monday through Friday. From 8:15 to 10 Central Standard Time. So about 15 minutes before the cash market opens. And I'm redoing this page because our trial is so much more than just this now. And it's actually not a lot of options trading, so I got to remove that. People want to get on to options trading and all this stuff before they're cash flowing the heck out of these prop programs and taking advantage of the greatest time ever to learn how to be a trader. Can I mention the no activation fee thing? Yeah. So what's going on right now at PropShop is, I asked ChatGPT to streamline it. So here we go. The Warrior evaluations are 40% off, and there's no activation fee. So they're going to look a lot like the My Funded Futures accounts or the Tradeify accounts or the Take Profit accounts in terms of the cost. But you got to use my code, the code TDG, because I think that's the only way to get the 40% off. But maybe I'm not telling the truth. I don't know. Let me see. It says 40% off here too. So use my code if you want. See if it does anything for you. Answered that. So I guess we answered everything today. All right, everybody. Stay green, trade like you mean it. Welcome to all the new members. We'll see you tomorrow bright and early. You'll get an email with all the details about how to get access to your Gladiator account if you're one of the first 3. Everybody else, I'll enter you in a drawing to get the other 2. And then I'll give away some Warriors too to everyone that bought before as well. And we'll see you in the trade room tomorrow. Stay green, trade like you mean it. Thanks, everybody. Be good. Bye.